you've had an array of experiences with different athletes from football to different sports, volleyball, males versus females. So what are some, I guess, warning signs where you get the cocky freshman coming in that then, okay, I gotta get ahead of this before the sport coach runs into these characteristics or these potential, I won't call them flaws, but potential performance limitations of how they're acting. So what can you do as a strength coach to now, okay, let's level set on their skill set so that way we can be coachable when you hand them off to a sport coach?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's got to be, being a strength and conditioning coach, you kind of have a unique, um, the way I took, in college, I took all these classes, but and I think I talk about it in one of these books, I can't remember which book it's in, but when you take a lab, right,
Hmm.
we can sit here, you and I can sit here and talk about this and it's great. But the weight room, as you know, it's kind of like a laboratory
Hmm.
where you can kind of bring your athletes in there and you can intentionally put them in situations where things get exposed, whether it's a lack of communication, teamwork, they're insecure, they're prideful, right? Or maybe they're just emotionally immature. And so whether it's putting them through, I like to have different exercises in the weight room, whether it's team building drills or they have to solve problems. I know I've literally done this in the summer where I'll take all 5 of the racks, or we'll tear the racks apart, put the team in groups, uh, divide them up into groups evenly, and give them packages with instructions where they can't talk, but they've got to communicate, and somebody's going to have to be the leader. Don't designate a leader, and just watch how they act. I mean, I think a lot of, and we're seeing this a lot too. Tim Elmore talks about this in his book called Generation Z Unfiltered. It's a phenomenal read on the kids today we're working with, and he calls it. There's two different categories. There's prescriptive and descriptive ways that you can lead kids today. Right, prescriptive is the way most parents deal with their kids and coaches. You see it in coaching too.
Hmm.
They'll literally list out everything they want them to do from A to Z.
Yeah.
Get up at this time, fix your this, do this, get your bag packed. And I've seen coaches do that. They'll create a list of to do
Hmm.
and they'll hold them to that. Like, have you done A, B, and C? And they'll remind them, hey, tomorrow, be sure you do these 5 things before you get to campus. They'll remind them of that.
Hmm.
Versus descriptive is like, hey, this rack is out of order. Fix it. What do we do first? Talk to your teammates. Look at the rack. I don't know. You tell me I'm not going to give you a list
Hmm.
of things. I'm going to give you a problem. Now you got to talk to your teammates, get them organized, the strategy, the steps, and the style of how you're going to fix that. You guys come up with it. Come back to me and tell me how you're going to do it. That's descriptive. They don't know how to do that
No.
because that requires communication. There's going to be if you put 5 people in a group, there's 100% going to be conflict in that group of what we should do first to fix that.
Hmm.
And then once they have conflict, how do you work through the differences of opinions of what we should do first? And then like, what's our strategy? Now, who's got what strengths on this team that we built? And then how are we going to organize this and put people in different orders to do different tasks to be successful as a team?
Hmm.
So you can do a lot of that in the weight room, not just give them a sheet with power clean, squat, and bench on it.
Yeah.
And so I think for me, that's what I've loved about being a strength coach. You can and that's just a prime example we've done other things. I mean, one summer we took them, I've done this actually a couple summers, take them down to the boathouse and let the rowing teams work with them
Yeah.
and put them in a situation where they have no skill. They have to listen to these girls coaching them. They have
Hmm.
to receive feedback. They have to stop and start over and be frustrated with that process and kind of be that white belt again, what I'm talking
Yeah.
about. But be on a boat with maybe some girls that they normally are on the court with in those positions that they have to
Hmm.
work with. And so now you're starting to build chemistry and culture a little bit outside the court or outside the weight room that's maybe a little bit different. So I love putting them in those situations where they're just uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So that's one way you can do it.
I like that. Did any girls leave the volleyball team to join the
No,
crew team?
no, they did. I mean, true story. We had one year. It's been many years. We had one girl that she had a near death experience with water years prior to that, and she had to overcome her fear and get in that boat.
Oh,
You
wow.
know, now we made sure that she was good to get in there. We didn't like, I gave her a heads up, but it was actually turned out to be a really positive experience for her.
I bet.
So I mean, we've done stuff with girls that we've done diving challenges in the swimming pool, put them in teams, and girls that did not want to jump in the pool, they jumped off the 1 meter board, not the 3 meter board.
Yeah.
Just it's good. I mean, at the end of the day, getting kids to be uncomfortable and kind
Hmm.
of face some of those fears, but to have their team there to support them,
Yeah.
it makes a difference. So it changes them.
Yeah. And then, I mean, you're observing not only the person in the stressful situation, how the team is reacting. So you can pinpoint, oh, this person was more vocal, this person was not as vocal. You can anticipate that same approach during a game.
Hmm.
So now we can help train them how to react and cheer for each other from the sidelines.
Yeah, you're not going to change anything in an athlete or a person unless you put them in an environment that forces them to change.
Hmm.
They're just not going to. We can talk. I can have goals. Can give feedback. We have meetings. Have the parents come in, the coaches. They will not change until you put them out there and you actually let them fall, be uncomfortable, and just keep trying. That's the only way we can do that.